Hi, welcome to Financial Suit. Are you a buyer that still thinking about whether you should buy in today's market because of the interest rate is not in the range that you're looking for, or you should feel like your affordability have changed significantly? Well, my job here is to provide you enough information so that way you can make the right decisions. Okay. As you can see here, there's a top five reason why you should purchase today. Okay, let's go jump into it. Well, as you can see in the last 2 years, in 2021 and 2022, when interest rate were really low, that's called a seller market, right? Which so many buyers go out there and not enough seller. And with the interest rate have jumped up, that's have filtered out a lot of buyers that are no longer available or are still sitting on the sideline waiting like you. So you have less competitions, and you don't have to compete among others to get the same house that you're looking for. As you can see here, there's a Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta showing the affordability throughout the time, and the cycle will go up and down. And it will show you that if you are in the affordability range, you should definitely consider buying a home right now. Number four, no overbidding and releasing of contingency. Well, during that crazy market of multiple offer to a seller, a lot of buy in order to win, they have to waive the home inspections, appraisal contingency, or even financing contingency just to win the house. That's like taking away your safety net of buying a home, where you have no protection when if something comes wrong with the house, appraisal come back lower than expected, and losing your earnest money over time, right? Number three, now you have better selection of homes because when there are so many houses out there, but even more buyer than the home, a lot of times some of the houses don't even have enough time to make it into the market. So they have to what you call it a pocket listing, right? The listing agent sells to the buying agent even before listing the market. You have no chance to even take a look at those homes. But now because there are more, less buyers, so most of the houses have to be listed on market. So you have the time to review different properties, do the inspections and due diligence to make sure that's the right home for you. Number two is that a lot of people are waiting for the rate and price to drop. Well, the moment that the interest rate have dropped, as you can see, 2021, 2022, those bring back the seller market. That means you have to go back to that waiving home inspection appraisal values and making overbidding price. You don't want to do that if you don't have to, right? Because that's just a lot of costs and a lot of unknown and unexpected thing waiting to happen. And number one reason is that because this is no longer seller market, seller want to sell it to you. They don't want to be in the home too long because they also have to buy another home. So they're willing to give you what called seller pay rate buy down. I'm gonna show you a couple of different scenarios here. Let's just say you want to buy a $400,000 home. If you put out 20%, the regular loan amount will be 360,000. So this will be the scenario where a normal price range. Now you can come in and you say, hey, I don't think this house worth $400,000. I want to offer $11,000 less, which is bringing the purchase price to be 389,000. That means you only have to put down a little bit less, so less 20%. The loan amount now 350. So with the same high interest rate, it's actually only lower your monthly payment by $65. I'm assuming the home insurance, the tax, and the HOAs are all the same because we're talking about the same properties, right? Now, but instead of asking for the $11,000 drop on the price, you still offer the $400,000. You and ask for $11,000 of seller concessions. Now you can use that in two ways. One is to buy down the interest rate permanently, or do a temporary buy down. So the permanent buy down meaning you will use the $11,000 to pay to the lender and ask the lender to lower from 6.875 to 5.875%. Now you can see your monthly payment now is significantly less. It's 2,130, so about $210 I'm sorry, $230 less than the original amount that you want, or about $170 less if you lower the purchase price. So you can see that's not really saving you much on the monthly payment, comparing between dropping on the price or buying down the rates. Or another way you can do is do temporary buy down, which means that if you will temporarily buying down the interest rate in the first 2 years of the loan. A lot of time, because the reason we do temporary instead of permanent, so because we expecting interest rate will drop within the first 2 years, and you can refinance that. So when you do a temporary buy down, you lower the 6.875. The first year you lower from 6.875 to 4.875, giving you your monthly principal interest is 1905. That's definitely about $400 less than what's the original principal and interest payment was. And the second years, it will drop from 6.875 to 5.875. So the monthly will come up a little bit more. However, the difference in the interest in the first 2 years is already paid by the seller. So if you refinance, you can your interest already be paid by the seller in the first 2 years. You only have to worry about that in the next years, especially if you will be able to refinance to a much lower rate within year second, for example, right? So in the end, the decision is yours, and I'm sure you have a reason for it. I just want to make sure that you have all the information out there to make the right decision and to be able to find a home that suit for you and your family. If you have more questions and you have any numbers you want us to help you running, feel free to reach out. The contact information is right on this webpage. Okay, and thank you. Have a good one.